Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of Trainwreck tonight, episode 274, sponsored by New York's only outlet liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? Tonight, we are joined with MANIAC and a very special guest on Twitter and Instagram at Buffalo Girl Probs without the I. Buffalo Girl Probs and MANIAC. Let's go.
How are we doing? Happy Victory Monday, everybody, and welcome to the show, Buffalo Girl Problems. How are we doing this Monday?
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I have a nice cold blue light in my hand, and I am very happy to be here.
It sounds like you're ready to start any evening, especially on a Victory Monday. But hey, just wanted to reach out. I mean, obviously, we're all riding, high off of a Buffalo sports weekend. But Trainwreck sports-wise, everything has been a little bit more centric on the past 6-7 days since our last show. Buffalo Girl Pops, I want to thank you because, when everything happened, you were one of the first, people to reach out to me just with your thoughts and your perspective. And you asked to come on the show and, kind of share it and kind of go over what you were feeling in the moment. So with that said, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. And no, I really appreciate you guys being so willing to have female voices on here and to quickly and swiftly acknowledge, the fact that what Jerry said was wrong. And listen, you guys, unfortunately, were just the vessel for him. He's a turd, no matter what way you put it. I think he went to journalism school in a gutter somewhere. But the truth is, he said what a lot of men think. Women belong in the kitchen. You go make me a sandwich. Women are cheerleaders, the blonde jokes. Listen, we can all laugh. Not everything has to be serious, but it's exhausting after a little while. Why, as a woman fan, do I have to prove myself? Why do I have to defend myself? I don't know why being a woman makes me less than a man. And Jerry really just showed his whole ass. And unfortunately, you guys were the brunt of that. So I really appreciate you having me on to talk about these issues. I think the dialogue and keeping up the dialogue of how we can all improve in these situations is so extremely important. And I think with your platform and with my platform, raising female voices is just everything.
And female voices are very prominent in Western New York and beyond. I mean, so it's not, it's surprising. The comments obviously caught me off guard. At the same time, with that said, I mean, you're speaking to that it might be a part of something like larger. I mean, you ran a huge, massive female-centric platform. I mean, I got to imagine you see things on a daily basis that maybe you wouldn't expect.
I would say as much as it's called Buffalo Girl Probs, and it was so cool when I made this account back in 2009, and now it's aged like milk. If I could change the name, I probably would. But it's really just transitioned to everyone. And I really enjoy that because I don't need to make it just about girls. We don't need to have sports talk be just about guys. It's for everyone at this point. But, I think that I have more so in my personal life received some backlash and some interesting feedback because I am a female sports fan. I love watching hockey. I love watching football. And that's where I've experienced it more than the internet. But that's not to say there are trolls, because I know that you guys have experienced the trolls for sure, especially in the past week.
Hey, I mean, and sometimes, deserve, sometimes not. With that said, you talked about being a sports fan. I mean, just real quick before we keep getting that, I know we don't want to give away too many details. We respect the anonymity of the account. With that said, how did you become a sports fan? How'd that all start out? And maybe who were some of your favorite players?
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I'm born and raised in Buffalo. I am a Buffalo girl through and through. My parents, my grandparents, all just Buffalo natives. So it was indoctrinated in me since I was a little kid. I think that I was born and a Bills jersey was slipped over my head, as I see that so many of people, our age having kids and stuff now are doing with their kids. I love that. But growing up, huge hockey fan. My dad took me when I was a little kid to go see Wayne Gretzky play here when he was, one of his last final games. That was a really cool experience. And I've always just been a huge hockey fan. Embarrassingly enough, I had a Tim Connolly jersey a few years back.
Embarrassing. That guy was absolutely dangling through anyone. Health was the issue. Oh my gosh, a healthy Tim Connolly, Al. The 2010s might have been a whole different story.
Was it the health or was it the nose candy that he liked also?
I was just gonna bring that up. Buffalo Girl props. Yeah, I've heard some pretty funny and ridiculous stories of him from the Encore party days. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh, who wasn't running through Encore back in the day? That's why when we started, it was anywhere but Encore. Oh my gosh, those days feel forever ago. But
yep.
BGB. Okay, so then you got the Sabres side of things. So you're saying you're almost more of a Sabres fan than a Bills fan?
I love and I live by my Bills, but I have to be honest with you. They were so frustrating for so long that I did get more enjoyment out of hockey. And when it came down to the Bills, and I'm not, a Kristen Kimmick, who's I love and respect, and I'm not, Robin Mundy. These women can talk football head in, head out. They love it and they know it and they've lived by it. For growing up, I was a little bit more of a Fairweather fan because I was heartbroken by them.
Yeah. And Maniac, I feel like if we ask her the question about Sabres, Stanley Cups, and Super Bowls, we know the answer.
I already know where the answer is going.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes we do a Buffalo Gauntlet BGP. We'll say, would you take one Bills Super Bowl or two Sabres Stanley Cups? And you're saying you're taking those cups all day.
I think I would take the cups, but this year with the Super Bowl, I can just taste it on my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I want this Super Bowl 2023 so badly.
Al, on a flip side, if I'm giving you that question, are you taking the Stanley Cups because the Super Bowl is close?
I just think about it, and it's like it's been 11 years since the Sabres have made the playoffs, and can you just imagine a full Stanley Cup run? Like we were too young for that when it first went around, but like just going from April to like mid-June, that just sounds ridiculous. And 2 championships, but you can see we're so close. I feel like you got to go with the Bills Super Bowl right now.
It feels like forever ago, but BGP, Sabres jersey and shorts, is there a better feeling
right?
in like May?
What is better than that? I don't think there's anything. You know what? There might be one thing better than that, and I know I was just professing my love for the Sabres, but a season opener tailgate in Orchard Park, it's 80 degrees, you're crushing beers, you're heading in, and we're, looking as good as we look right now. That's an elite feeling too. Yeah. That's elite.
Seriously. And speaking of elite feelings, real quick, make sure your weekend is elite and get to the place to buy a case, Outlet Liquor.
Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
So BGB, we talk about what goes to being a sports fan, and obviously it's not defined by being a male, female, anything, this, that, and the other. But with that said, what do you think are the most annoying traits of the modern day sports fan?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I caught you off guard with this one. I didn't throw this in the rundown.
No, you didn't throw that in the rundown. I like it. You're adding a little spice here, babe. All right. Well, let's see. A modern sports fan, one of the most annoying things, I just immediately go to the people that I don't like watching games with. And why? Because all they can do, pick six of every play, right? Or ice the puck during a hockey game. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I think that's so irritating.
This Dolphins fan in front of me, on Saturday, every time Josh Allen dropped back to pass, hit him! Like 2 seconds in. Snap the ball.
The D-line doesn't know that, Al. They need to be informed that it's time to hit Josh Allen. Yeah, whether or that he got the shoot on the power play. Yeah, they really need to know when it's time to shoot on the power play, guys. Although I'm not going to lie, sometimes when you're at a Sabres game, it's hard to resist the urge. They got 40 seconds left. They're cycling it around. They haven't shot it on net yet. Speaking of which, we got your Sabres in action tonight, BGP. We'll get back to him in a second, but you feeling good with this non-Eichel rematch tonight? Looks like he's not going to play.
God, I heard he's out. Unfortunately, I would just love for someone to get him on the ice and just toss him around. Talk about a Cinderella story that went to absolute hot garbage with him. I mean, we were Eichel, and then he just turned right around and trashed us. And speaking of nose candy, we can hear all about him with that too, but that might be a different podcast.
That is most definitely another different podcast in a different, totally different realm. We do not support that here at Trainwreck Sports. You got to say that. Thank you, BGP. With that said,
you guys in trouble again.
Hey, well, listen, and that's just gonna be proof, Al. Just kind of putting a bow on the discussion. Obviously, going forward, Trainwreck tonight is our show, and we're driving the car, and we're gonna handle it the right way.
Yeah, definitely Buffalo Girl props. Everyone who's listening right now, people who will rewatch this, we totally understand that we could have, addressed this a lot better with what happened last Monday. Just obviously a very unfortunate situation. But yes, if anything like this does happen in the future, we've been through this and we'll obviously handle it much, much more differently.
I appreciate you guys saying that. And, I just want to touch on one other thing because I heard your show the other night with Jay Spence and he's so cool. And he was immediately one of those guys that was right on Twitter going, this is not okay, what he said. But he mentioned something, and I want to bring this up because this is a lot of the discourse that you mentioned, trolls. It's what I've heard. A lot of people feel, I think, that Jerry, although his comments were idiotic and they don't support them, they feel that he shouldn't have been fired. And I couldn't disagree more with that sentiment, because I think if he wasn't fired, it's essentially elevating what he's doing and, making it okay. It wasn't okay. It's not okay. And it giving him a platform in any sense after those comments is comical. I mean, and I know you guys saw this, but I laughed out loud when he changed his bio to women's sports advocate. Are you kidding?
Wait, that actually happened? Because that happened?
Real life. Yeah.
So what was the bio before? Because I heard that and I was like, what?
Yeah. Wow. And you think that it's a joke, but it's true. And then he goes on to tweet that he recently wrote all these pieces of women in sports, and it's a shame they won't get published. If I'm a woman in a sports realm and Jerry Sullivan just wrote an article about me, why would I want his take on what I'm doing when he's essentially come out as a misogynist on a live podcast? I think these women deserve so much better than that reporting. They deserve, there's this young girl I know, and recent UB grad. Her name is Sarah Holland. She's unbelievable.
She's awesome. I know Sarah.
She's unbelievable. She just won the Tim Russert Media Career Award for aspiring journalists. I mean, she's going to be huge. She's the next Erin Andrews. Give her that platform. Give her that, she's
what now? Isn't she on 4? Isn't she made some appearances already?
She has.
I think that's where I saw her. Okay, because you're saying UB. I'm like, I thought she was already in the big time.
She just graduated.
Oh my gosh. Right to work. I love it. No, hey, that's amazing. And yeah, you love to stay. I mean, hey, we have interviewed, again, this isn't, but you look at like a Jenna Harner who went from Buffalo, now dominating in Pittsburgh. I mean, there is no limit to whether it's being a female sports fan, female sports reporter. No limit. And speaking of no limit, BGP, was there a limit to your tension on Saturday night? Where were you on the scale of 1 to 10 of losing your brain?
Oh God, guys. I mean, the rivalry that still squished the fish. I really was very uptight, but once I saw that Josh was going to pull away with it, it's like, I love Josh Allen. We love Josh Allen. The team loves Josh Allen. He is just an elite athlete. And he really that game for us.
The play to end the first half.
The play to end the first half, you have the 50-yard run, which is basically the only offensive action in the second half. And then obviously you have the 2-point conversion where a normal quarterback is likely stopped, but he gets in there by a matter of inches. So shout out Al Pacino on that. With that said, BGP, are you a little nervous? I mean, we lost Morris. It doesn't seem like with the concussions that he's going to be coming back soon. We got Ike Becker back off the IR today. I guess there's a lot of talk that him bringing in the center position might solidify things. But where is your I was talking about your tension scale. Where was your nervous scale now with that offense after that second half on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, I was a 6. I wasn't as tense as I probably maybe should have been. The loss of Mitch Morse is huge. You know, Bates out. We're going to need to get creative with certain guys like that. We can't always expect Josh to hang out back in the pocket. I mean, we need to start running more play action. We need to start running more rollouts. We need to get more production out of our running game. I know you guys have talked about this already, but I love Cole being back. Cole Beasley, I think he's an awesome addition. Although I didn't see him that much in the game. I mean, he was awful quiet.
I mean, he got in for some snaps. I think they were, pretty savvy to him being in, because I think that, obviously, when he's out there, it's kind of like a decoy in a weird way, Al. But with that said, I am nervous about this offense, BGP. With Mitch Morse, they just looked a little bit of a tick behind, Al.
Oh, I mean, I could not agree more. It seemed like, once again, it was another football game where it seemed like Allen was running for his life a lot. And obviously, we're lucky that he's got the legs that he does. But, yeah, offensively, we need some work. And it looks like we're heading into another blizzard, another ridiculous, weather.
The last 6 weeks has not been for the faint of heart if you're, just trying to settle in for a football game.
Dude, I'm hearing that it could be potentially moved to Sunday or Detroit. That's outrageous. What? This is the wackiest season in a long time for the Buffalo Bills.
Are we doing this again? Oh my goodness.
BGP, this is real. This is real. So
no,
I don't.
They're saying. I mean, what are the conditions? They're saying a foot of snow at least. And that's going to be. And Chicago's going to be the center of whatever's going to happen. They're showing a heat map. It's at 100. Buffalo's at 20.
You guys ever travel to Detroit for the snow games though? There've been 2 now.
Oh, I went for this past one. So it was awesome. Yep. And Ford Field was all very cool. Very interesting venue, the way it's set up. Again, the biggest thing to me is just, it was crazy that it felt like the upper tier was right on top of you. But the other time Al and I were there was in December for the heartbreak of the 2018 MAC championship when UB lost to Northern Illinois, unfortunately.
Oh,
that was horrendous. And then there was another Bills game there though, too.
There was.
Yep.
She was talking about the Chandlers, the shovel game.
Yes, the game-winning field goal, right at the buzzer.
They blew them out, didn't they, BGP?
Oh yeah, we
whooped the Jets' ass.
Yeah, we roasted them.
There's another game though. My brother went to on the road like that.
Was it a Toronto game?
I'm gonna have to look it up.
You know what? Tucked has had enough of a spotlight. But shout out to BGB for coming in the spotlight. Seriously, this is awesome. And speaking of which, yesterday, very interesting day, Al. Very interesting day around the AFC. So I want to get BGP's thoughts. Who worries you most right now in the AFC? I mean, the Chiefs looked absolutely sleepwalking against the worst team in the NFL. The Bengals were down 17-3 at half against a Tom Brady offense that's been looking like it belongs in the retirement home. And I say that with respect to retirement homes. They have not been scoring. BGP, what do you got? Where is your focus? Where is your worry? Or are you just thinking that if the Bills take care of business, it's smooth sailing, baby?
Listen, I'm a little nervous about the Bengals. The Chiefs yesterday acting like they're beating a team that's 1-12 in overtime, acting like they won the Super Bowl. They should have been embarrassed that was the margin that they won that game. The fact that they were smiling when they walked off the fields, I was yelling at my TV. But, the Bengals are making me a little nervous. I don't know. I think that in the AFC, I think that we really do have to worry about possibly Kansas City getting hot. But, I have all faith in Josh, guys. I really do. I think he's proven time and time again that he's just willing to throw his whole body on the line for this team.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the Chiefs and Bengals right now. It's such a tough question. Who would you rather face? I'm definitely hearing some people say they'd rather take on the Chiefs right now. But just, I don't know. The difference right now between the 1 seed and the 2 or 3 seed is just so massive, because if you dodge the 2 or the 3 seed and you win out here for the Bills, you don't have to potentially face both the Bengals and Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the key is, who's your target for a team coming in? Because right now, obviously, you're assuming / hoping that they'll win out and get the 1 seed. So who's your dream 2-7 or 3-6 loser coming in to play? The Ravens, with Lamar kind of hobbled? Like, I guess that's as good of a matchup as you can kind of hope for the divisional, right? I don't even know what's going on with Lamar. I just know he's been out for weeks.
I believe he's coming back. Though,
He's coming back. So I when I said that I was not sure if they like IR'd him like the last couple of days or something, but no, he's coming back. You got to imagine he's not going to be 100% like in the next 3 weeks. So with that said, I think a hobbled up team that you've dominated before in the playoffs is basically the best you could hope for a divisional round matchup, Al.
Yeah, I mean, the final 2 games of the year for Cincy, obviously, home to Buffalo and then home to Lamar. So, and then I believe, and Cincy this week is in New England. So you got to hope, if Cincy loses one more game, we're what? Guaranteed the one of the two? Pretty much. As long as you don't slip up to the Bears or the Patriots, you're a 1-2 seed. So.
And I'd love that one. Because if we
it's everything. It's everything.
There, you know, and we keep Kansas City out of there. Has Mahomes even had a road playoff game?
No,
I don't think so.
Has not had to leave Arrowhead one time, BGB, except to play for the Lombardi.
And look at his road stats this year.
Awful. Look at the Chiefs defense against Davis Mills. They were getting carved yesterday. Yeah. Carved.
Yep. Right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be Dolphins at Chiefs. Chargers.
See, that actually worries me because I feel like the Dolphins could beat the Chiefs. And I feel like I'm kind of worried about the Dolphins a little bit.
Dolphins at Chiefs, Chargers at Bengals, Ravens at Titans.
Great wild card, super wild card weekend.
Yeah. We just need the 1 seed.
Need the 1 seed. BGP, on that note, what do you think is the biggest key for these remaining, 3 games here? Obviously, the Bengals game is going to be the game mathematically where it's more of a toss-up. But overall for those 3, what's the key for the squad?
I'm sorry, you broke up when you asked me that last question. What'd you say? Did we just lose him?
I didn't see him freeze. Oh, here he comes.
My internet betrayed me. Oh, my God. We saw my real life for a second. You can't have that on Trainwreck Tonight 274 sponsored by Outlet Liquor. BGP, I was just saying, these last 3 games for the Bills, what do you think is the priority if let's say it was head coach BGP, not head coach Sean McDermott?
Oh, I mean, okay, well, first of all, and this goes without saying, but everyone has got to stay healthy for the love of God. We need to work on our run game, obviously. Our offensive line struggles, but I think that really is playing a huge part in why Josh has had to just overextend and overperform. I want to take the burners off of him. I want other people to step up. Oh, he's gone again. Look at that. He just doesn't like what I'm saying.
He'll be back. This is 2022. We're still dealing with this.
You're muted.
I'm muted?
No, I'm joking. That's what everyone's saying.
Whoa.
Maniac.
What just happened?
I blacked out. Did we lose you?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I just said I love the Buffalo Bills. That's what I said.
Al, what happened?
No, you left again. Then I thought I was muted because I said it's 2022 and we're still dealing with technical difficulties.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the only thing we're upset about, we love technical difficulties here at Transports. As a matter of fact, these technical difficulties never stop.
Not for me anymore. I'm in the clear.
No, it's right.
No free plugs. We might get to that soon enough. But with that said, okay, so now I think I might be back. Let's get to the love of BGP's life, and we're talking about not the black and red jerseys, which they are 3-0 in, but the Buffalo Sabres. I mean, how optimistic can we get about this squad?
Oh, I'm pretty excited about them, and I have not been this excited about a team since, I don't know, what, 06? I think they're great. I think they have strength in goaltending right now, which I think notoriously has been our under-discussed issue in the past. And to walk in to Colorado, the Stanley Cup champions, and to just toast them.
Had their way with them.
I was going to say something awful, but I forgot I'm live. So yeah, we had our way with them.
BGP, thank you. Yeah. With that said, speaking of having their way, so they're obviously scoring. So with that said, besides the goaltending, I don't want to head coach Johnny Meatballs. I want to head coach BGP right now. What is your focus for the Sabres then for this next stretch of games? Because Al, there's an opportunity to climb the standings. BGB, what do you got for that squad?
Listen, I think Kyle Poso is such a strong leader that he kind of takes a back seat. I want to get him involved more. Jeff Skinner coming back. He's elite. He's unbelievable. Feed these guys that aren't necessarily getting the looks that Tage, that Tuck is getting. Get these guys involved in the game. We already talked about the goaltending, which I think is strong. Our defense probably could use a little bit more work, but I just really think overall, if we continue to play the game we've been playing, we're looking really good.
Yeah, and right now you have the Sabres 5 points out of a wild card spot. The last wild card team right now is the Islanders with 37, and then you have the Red Wings tied with the Sabres, and then Florida and Washington in between.
I couldn't believe when I looked at the standings and saw us looking up at the Red Wings. We've crushed them twice.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what the hell I have there? But yeah, the Sabres definitely are on the up and up. To me, it's all about Matty Sams. I mean, as long as he is in the lineup, Matthias Samuelsson, he's eating cupcakes. He's drinking Labatt Blues. He's literally loving life. He's drinking them responsibly, by the way, as well. But with that said, yeah, I mean, Al, this Sabres squad is legitimately exciting to watch. It's more exciting to watch, arguably, than any Eichel squad ever was. And I'm not calling that out because of Eichel. I'm just saying you're talking about the last 6 years of the Sabres history.
I mean, you heard me. What have I been saying the past?
Number one, Al's the number one Sabres fan.
I mean, they were a very, very tough team to dedicate 2.5 hours of your life to.
They were.
And now it's completely different. And we got Sabres After Dark tonight, 10 p.m. start.
You know what would happen for me? Oh, sorry, BGB. But truth be told, when the Sabres were really bad, I would turn it off during an intermission, and there would be times where I would just forget to turn it back on until 10 minutes into a period or stuff like that. That's not happening anymore. That's not happening to me, BGB.
No, and you can't even be late to tune in anymore because you'll miss 3 goals if you're 5 minutes late. I mean, they've just notoriously been scoring with 5 minutes into the game. It's so much fun to watch. I went to a game recently. The Sabres sent me some tickets, and it was electric in there. And that's the energy that I miss. That's that old school hockey town energy that we haven't had in so long. It is electric, and I hope it stays for a long time.
That is one area I will give them credit. I don't think they have the attendance that they would obviously like at this point. But with that said, the I don't know what they did specifically, but the fan experience does seem to be a little bit better. Al, you've been to a couple games this year, right?
Yes. Yep.
Have you noticed that at all?
I mean,
okay, we'll go that easy on them. But yeah, I think it's getting better, and obviously as the team continues to do better, that'll happen as well. BGB, any final thoughts on the Burrs? Should they just wear the black and reds half the time?
I die for the black and reds. I live and die for them. I know that might not be the most popular opinion, but I love them. Keep them in them. Wear them all day long.
Seriously. And speaking of all day long, we got stuff coming up for UB, Al. We got the Camellia Bowl coming up in a week and a half. So UB football will be in action there.
I was gonna say, that's what? That's next Tuesday, I believe, right?
Next Tuesday. We got, men's b-ball kind of hanging around in the early part of this tough, out of conference. But did you see this today? Oh, no. Why isn't this working for me? Oh, I can't share my screen, but UB was a stop for the torch relay on the 2023 FISU World University Games.
What?
It's the games, it's the Olympics, basically, in Lake Placid.
Oh, my I know
UB getting it done. Satish getting it done. BGB, ever go to any Bulls games?
Oh, I'm a proud alumni. Oh,
see, we're not trying to dox too much, so forget you heard that, folks. It could be post-grad or undergrad.
Yeah, no, I just went to a couple art classes there. No, I'm kidding, but no, I love I love UB. I am a very proud UB Bulls big fan, and I just think they're so fun to watch.
Love it. And Maniac, real quick, and Buffalo Girl Probs, you're going to love this. The past 2 games, it's been a little chillier, obviously, with the Jets and Dolphins. I've worn the UB band jacket into the games. It's great. Everyone thinks I'm a part of the UB marching band. It's hilarious.
That is a great jacket. Absolutely iconic.
Yeah.
Speaking of iconic, and no, I'm not talking about the entire Buffalo Girl Props platform. You saw it yesterday. You can't unsee it. Patriots lose on fail lateral.
Chef's kiss.
Right? It's like no caption necessary, right?
No words of what that was.
It literally undid 2 Super Bowls. I'm not saying the full dynasty, but 2 Super Bowls instantly evaporated for me in the Patriots' eyes.
McCorkle losing is great. However, watching Bill Belichick's face cross that field to shake hands may have been a peak moment of my life. Peak.
I don't even know what that was. You think they were down by 7 points? It didn't make any sense.
It did.
Can't even. I have literally no words for that. Like,
shout out to Jacoby Myers. He did the full scrum after and took like 100% accountability. But yeah, he was clearly trying to be a hero, but he threw it right to Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones looked legitimately surprised. That was also all.
It was like, you know what? It was like he was trying to guess which way he had to move, but he didn't even have to move because the ball was just coming right at him.
What's Mac Jones going to do if he gets that ball?
I'm sorry, we only refer
he's off to the house with a gritty. With the McCorkle to the house with a gritty.
Like, what? I don't know. Very odd.
There's no execution by Mac Jones. No quarterback has ever scared me less in my entire life.
I mean,
Is that one play worse than anything that happened to the Bills during the drought?
Ooh.
I mean, there's been a lot of key.
Oh, a lot of bad. No. Like you go back to 2004, losing to the Steelers backups to miss the playoffs. Like that's probably worse. But when they look back at it this year, that might be the play or not tying or things like that cost them the playoffs.
You're right. There has been a ton of bad plays, and I don't know if anything gets.
The volume is like a dump, but this is like a dumpster of like trash gold. Like this is trash like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
See, I'm so hesitant though to agree with you because I don't want Patriots fans to have any fuel to feel like they should be sorry for themselves.
This is the greater Boston sports depression. It absolutely has already started. The Red Sox, the Celtics lost in the finals. The Red Sox are losing everybody. They lost Mookie Betts. They lost Bogarts. They lost everyone. The Bruins aren't going to win despite being up there, and the Patriots aren't going to make the playoffs. They're going to be very upset.
Hey, listen though, they still have the Celtics are NBA favorites right now to win
but they won't win. That's their winning was so crazy. They what was it? 11 championships in like 18 years.
I'm just saying they are still favorites to win the finals, and the NHL they're probably arguably a top 4 team right now.
I saw them go on the road to Golden State and get waxed.
It's fine. It's the regular season, Maniac. It's December.
But yes, literally, as BGP so artfully put it, chef's kiss. The McCorkle. By the way, Julian Edelman was like in a suite watching live in Vegas.
Wow.
Oh my god!
So he just goes like live. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like punching like the couch in his suite.
Did you see the video that went viral today of the one Patriots fan that was filming?
He was filming live. He's like, "Go, go!"
But you can see the scoreboard behind him.
Yeah, you can see it all. And then the best thing is, like, right as it happens, he almost does like a reverse Jim Halpert. He like looks right at the camera.
Yes, that was incredible.
Oh, that is so good.
But it would have been so much better if Brady would have won yesterday, or the Texans would have pulled off that miracle. We were one more game.
Oh my God, we were. You talk about both those games. We were inches away from Yahtzee NFL weekend. Literally a Yahtzee NFL weekend.
Yes,
for sure.
Oh my
but
God.
I know recently Kansas City has been creeping up as our rival. We'll always have the Dolphins, but just inject a Patriots loss into my veins. Oh, the energy. Oh,
BGP week 18 for the 1 seed. That could be potential.
Could be could be for the 1 seed, and it could be simultaneously to like knock them out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
By the way, I almost lost my brain at the Bills game, and I love my seat neighbors. I can't believe I forgot to bring this up. The guy in front of me goes, this game's actually more important for the Dolphins than it is the Bills. And said it 100% serious. They're playoffs. They're on the edge of the playoffs. Like, it's more important for them. Me and my seatmate, Jacoby, like, almost lost our brains.
Did you throw a snowball at him?
No, by the way, Al, how are your seats? It was exactly as they advertised. Like, there was snow basically just in my entire like seat.
Oh yeah, how did we not talk about this? Yeah, it was literally. So first thing we walk in, Tuck's in front of me. We're going past 5 Bills fans in front of us, and he knocks over, trudging through the snow, this lady's hot chocolate or coffee, spills everywhere. And the husband or whoever, father, he was furious. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, so we just kept walking, and then we got to our seats. I didn't sit once. I left all the snow on my seat. I didn't even move it. I stood the entire game, and I have never seen anything like it. Looking to my left, looking to my right, watching the snowballs come from the 300 level or the 100 level of the field. I mean, you look to your left, there's 3 going at a time. It was incredible. It was a sight to see. It was awesome.
Fans, listen to Josh. Stop throwing snowballs. I can't believe that actually went out over the audio announcer.
They were never going to ever call that 15-yard penalty. Never.
In my brain, sorry, BGB, in my brain, the only way they were going to call it was literally if someone got hit in the face mask who was like about to make a play. Like, that was the only way they would call it.
Because what would stop Dolphins fans from throwing at their bench?
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but that was, I don't know. Where would you rate that game? For like just a home experience? Like, I know it wasn't the biggest one ever, but like that was from an all-around experience perspective, with like just the snowballs in the beginning, the lake effect at the end, beating a division rival. That's the top one all time for me, for sure.
Yeah. It's easily a top 5 home game of the past, 15, 20 years with how the drought went. So easily top 5 of the past 15, 20 years. And the only competition is really just recent memory, like the Pats' perfect game. Titans Monday Night Football, like just kind of dominating them and like having 3 touchdowns and like having like good weather and like partying and everything like that. There isn't much. I mean, maybe the Bills playoff game, Bills Ravens, but I mean, you only had 6,000 fans at that game, so you can't really fairly say like that was a home game that everyone could have been at. So with that said, I mean, BGP, are we going crazy, or is this like a top 3 game in the last 15, 20 years now?
Absolutely a top 3 game. I mean, and before we were grabbing at scraps, before Josh really got activated. And now it's like we're so spoiled. We have all these games to pick from, but this rises above. I mean, it's a pinnacle Buffalo. They're talking about the weather like it's going to snow. I've never seen snowflake before. This is crazy. They're losing their mind, and we delivered, and it was beautiful.
Oh my gosh, how much does the NFL want like Chiefs Bills AFC Championship in Buffalo with snow? I mean,
100%.
Oh,
Goodell's drawing it up. Speaking of drawing it up, BGB, thanks for joining us on TT 274. Any shout outs before we land this bird?
Oh man, I got to shout out my guys at Buffalo Go. I know you guys can't see me, but I'm sitting here in my
Eric and Co getting it done.
Oh, those are the best guys. My girls at Lounge Shop and May and Mango, and my local female entrepreneurs, my local female sports analysts, all the Bills Mafia babes. You guys crush it every day. So thank you guys for having me on. Keep elevating female voices. I love it.
Seriously, PGP. We're not speaking on behalf of Manning, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. It means a lot. And like I said earlier, we'll do the best we can in the future to make it right, obviously, and obviously continue to. Obviously, the people, the supporters over the past week has been great, and hopefully, for the people that we lost and, upset a lot, that, continue to hopefully gain their trust back.
Hey, for the doubters, we look forward to proving you wrong. And for those who believed in us, we look forward to we've proven you right.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you,
everyone. BGB, thank you for coming on. We have a Sabres game night, so stay tuned for the action over there. Degenerate Al, we have a hell of a week ahead, and we didn't even get into it's Christmas It's Christmas week this weekend.
And hey, happy
And it's the
Hanukkah.
start of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Wait, oh,
Hanukkah.
no, it started yesterday, right?
I thought it was today. Am I wrong?
Yesterday.
Hanukkah
Okay.
started yesterday because my bus started going nuts at 12 o'clock. I'm not even joking.
I'm an idiot. Thought it was
unbelievable.
today. But yeah, then we got Christmas Eve, Bills game Saturday, and Christmas Sunday, and who knows where and when.
Who
the
knows where
Bills will be
Bills Bears is
playing.
going to fall, right? Yeah.
We don't know.
exactly.
We don't
It
know.
might just be a Christmas surprise. But hey, don't surprise us. Make sure you're following along. YouTube, Twitter, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, MySpace, BGP. Is that still around?
Oh, I love a good MySpace. Are you kidding? You guys make my top 6 now.
Okay, we are all in each other's top 6. And let's have a Sabres win tonight. And I think, Al, that would guarantee a good
Good
night.
night.